So the action plan on sustainable finance published in March by the European Commission is very important for savers, because financial issues are not really only technical or planets somewhere else. It's really related to how we finance the transition of all the EU to a low carbon and inclusive economy. And we need the assets of the financial sector, we need the assets of the savers. And I think that there are a lot of European citizens who want to put their money into the solutions and not into the problems that we have to face, for example, on climate change. So the EU Action Plan is a really framework. The EU Action Plan designs the idea that the investors have to reallocate their investment to corporates which are really on transition pathway, and they have to create, because of that, some financial products which could be offered to the savers to say, if you want to invest in the European transition, you have to invest in this kind of products. And if you want to avoid the problem, if you want to avoid, for example, coal industry or others, which are really bad for climate change, we have the kind of financial products you need. The European scale is the good one to address all environmental issues, and especially the good scale to invest in European solutions. So that's why right now we have a very fragmented markets with Spanish market, French market, German market is not so big, but we have very different markets which are not on the same page, which don't share the same practices. So with an EU ecolabel, we could have a very easy and understandable tool for savers, which choose right now something in a supermarket with this kind of label. So the idea is to do the same when you are putting some money to save, when you are saving money for your retirement, for example, or something like that. It means that it could be a very useful tool to help to address and to unify the European landscape of sustainable finance, which is really a big, we need to do that to really improve the leadership of European sustainable finance. It depends on the market. In some countries, there are, for example, in France, we estimate that around 20% of the assets in sustainable finance are in the hands of retailers. But the point is really not part of the conversation. If I can translate to understand very easily the things. Right now, people are trying to find some organic food because they want to eat safely. They try to have clothes which are produced in not too bad conditions. And it's the same for financial products. So, but right now it's not the part of the conversation between banks, insurers and their customers. So the idea of these labels could be a good tool to change the conversation and to really have discussion, and it's also embedded in the EU Action Plan, to have the conversation with your customer to say, okay, are you interested in green transition to Europe? Do you think that ESG criteria are important for your savings or something like that? If there are a lot of asset managers and banks and insurers say, you are crazy. If we are beginning this kind of conversation with our customers, we will be dead. And our sellers are not trained for that. So it's really the next steps, and we need to train people who are the sales force, and we have also to wake the customers that it's their money, so they need to choose what kind of purpose could have their money. I think next step could be the European election next year, because the success of all these things depends really on the result of this election. Because if we succeed to put this conversation into the debate before the election, and after that it will become for the European citizens a game changer, it could be very useful, because we don't have time. As the IPCC said a few days ago, we just have 10 years to really make a huge change, and it's a tool part of this change. So we need to go and to act more concretely and very quickly.